Yeah, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a...
Welcome to High Vibe Honey. I'm Gala Darling and I'm a best-selling author. And when I go to cocktail parties and events and people ask me what I do, I tell them that I teach women how to feel good and access their inner bad bitch, which is a really great filtration device, as you can probably imagine, because some people are like, whoa, and some people are like, please tell me more about this. And that's what I've been doing since 2006, which is a long damn time. This is a brand new format for High Vibe Honey, which I'm really excited about. And in this new format, we're gonna go deep on one topic. So we're gonna bring up a problem or a challenge or something that you're going through, and I'm gonna walk you through it. We're gonna do some problem solving. I'm gonna tell you some stories. And then at the end, I'm gonna lead you through an energetic technique called tapping, which I've been doing since 2006. And we're gonna use that to help you move out of the problem. Because we can hear about how to solve a problem all day, but if on the inside we don't feel worthy, we feel afraid, we feel anxious about taking the next step, we're not gonna make the next step. So tapping is a really easy technique. You can do it in your chair. I'm gonna totally walk you through it. And it's really gonna help you bring this solution into your actual life. So let's start at the very beginning. Let's talk about how to access your inner bad bitch, because she's in there. I know she's in there, and you know she's in there too, or you wouldn't even be watching this. So when I started fashion blogging a long time ago, people wanted to look better. They wanted to know what they could do to look better. What could they wear? What could they put on? What could they buy? How could they do their makeup differently? But it's not really about looking better. They thought it was. But what it was really about was that they wanted to feel better. And they thought that the clothing was gonna get them to that space where they felt better. But that isn't always the case, right? I know that you've had times where you might be wearing an amazing outfit, but you don't feel confident, or you're worried about something, or some guy hasn't texted you back. And so no matter how good you look, you still feel like shit. At the time, I was talking about how to express yourself with clothing in new ways, because I had just come through a period of depression and I had an eating disorder, which I used tapping, which I'm gonna show you, to get through. And once I came through the other side of that, I really wanted to play with clothing. And when I was depressed, I was so goth. Guys, I was so fucking goth. I would only wear black. I wore a studded dog collar for like 10 years, literally 10 years. And when I came through that, my perception of the world changed, and I just suddenly was not interested in wearing black anymore. I really wanted to wear colors. I wanted to reflect back how I was feeling about the world. And so I started to play with my style and document it on my blog. I was having a really good time with this. I would wear 2 different colored shoes, and I would wear a dress layered over another dress, and I would wear bunny ears in public, and I was just having a really good time. And people would look at that online and think like, wow, like, how do I look like that? But it wasn't about what I looked like. It was about how I was feeling. The way that I was feeling was influencing how I was dressing, and not the other way around. When we look at a photo or a video of someone, we see how they look and we think, that looks really good because it looks like she feels XYZ, right? It's not just about the aesthetic. It's about the meaning that we connect to the aesthetic. Like, someone might be dressed in a way that you really like, and it's not just like, oh, I like the colors. It's really not. It's like you're looking at it and you're thinking, she looks really confident. She looks really sexy. She looks like she's really in power in her life. And that's really what you're resonating with. Like, she looks like she's abundant. Like, these are the things that are really resonating with us. So what's the point of like looking like Rihanna, right? If on the inside you don't feel confident, it's not gonna work. That's not the magic trick. What was really happening in these photos that people were seeing is that my confidence on the inside that I now all of a sudden had was radiating through my outfits, as opposed to the outfit was making me feel good about myself. It wasn't the other way around. The truth is that I could have been wearing like a $10 dress, and in fact, I did have a $10 dress that I loved. I actually wore it to a Louis Vuitton party, and everyone was like, I love your dress. I was like, $10, bitch. And the point is, like, I could have been wearing anything. I still would have felt good. It was the work that I was doing on the inside. And being a bad bitch is a practice, right? You're not gonna wake up one day and have it all nailed, but it's a gradual thing. And, you know, I'm 36 and I feel really confident, really strong about who I am and how I dress and how I express myself. But I am so excited to see what that's going to be like in 10 years. Like, I can only imagine how fucking wild that will be. But the point is that with accessing your inner bad bitch, you have to start somewhere. You have to start small with something soon, because if you don't do it tomorrow or today, you're never going to do it. So I think the first time I really started to express my own style was when I was around 13 years old. And before that, you know, I went to like an all-girls school, and it was very much like, this is trendy, so everyone's wearing it. And I would try to do that, but it didn't really feel good. I felt like I was wearing a costume. And, you know, when you're trying to wear the trendy thing, everyone judges you because, like, well, that's not perfect, or like, that's not the color of that thing that we buy, or whatever. And it's a losing game. So when I was about 13, I started using the internet, and I got really into everything goth. I was in goth news groups, I made goth websites, got really into like Marilyn Manson. It was a whole thing. And I remember the first time I started dressing that way. I had been into like a kind of like a novelty gift shop, and they sold this pair of silver plastic angel wings. And I was like, those are so cool. I want to wear them all the time. And so I remember wearing those with my goth outfit. So it would be like a black tank top, a long black lacy skirt, black and white stripy tights, combat boots, a dog collar, and these silver wings. And this was my favorite outfit ever. And I remember wearing it and kind of being a little bit like, I wonder what people will say about this. And yeah, there were some like teenagers on the bus who were like, oh, whatever. But the point is that most people actually were really receptive to it. They were inspired by it. They would say like, I love your wings, or they would just light up when they saw me. Even though I was like goth, I was like a little dark rain cloud, people still really liked the fact that I was doing my own thing. And when that started to happen, I realized like, there's nothing wrong with dressing the way you want to dress and expressing yourself however you want to. And there are always going to be some people who have an opinion about it that you don't like, but do you really give a shit about their opinion anyway? Like the kids in the back of the bus that didn't like my outfit were wearing like rugby clothes. Like, I don't give a fuck what you think about my outfit because I know that I look dope. And so these are just like little pieces of the puzzle where you're kind of stacking them together. So one day, you know, you wear something that's different and you realize it's just really not a big deal. We tell ourselves these stories that like, if I do this, people are going to judge me, or I'm going to be shunned, or like, I'm going to be like, you know, killed in a village square or something. Like, that's just not going to happen. People really generally don't give a fuck about what you're doing. They're too worried about their own lives. And we hold ourselves back from taking these risks and doing the things we really want to do because we think some bitch is going to have an opinion about it. Well, who cares if she does? It doesn't change your life. She doesn't pay your bills. So live your life. Now, my idea of being a bad bitch, even though I had never really heard that phrase before when I was 13, was like being goth, but bringing fun to it, right? I wasn't just going to wear like all my black stuff in my corset and be sad about it. I was gonna put angel wings with it. The other thing that I loved to do was to wear, so I had like a few different pairs of stripy tights. It was like red and black, purple and black, white and black. And I would go to a party store. This, like, where does these ideas come from? I would go to a party store and buy a helium balloon in the color that matched my tights and walk around with it. Like, who does this? I don't know, just me. But I would like take this thing that was kind of like serious and dark and make it funny. I don't know. That was just what I wanted to do, right? So my point is that everyone has their own idea of what their inner bad bitch looks like. Maybe for you, it's like Madonna mixed with RuPaul, mixed with Whitney Cummings. Or maybe it's like a totally different mix of people, and that's totally okay. It can be anything. All that matters is that you have these people that you look up to and you're kind of like, well, I love the way she does this, or I love the way he does that, and like, how can I bring these things together? When I was about 10 years old, I saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit for the first time. And I remember seeing Jessica Rabbit on stage and I was transfixed. She was my ultimate idea of what a bad bitch looked like. And she's always been my top most inspiring ultra feminine figure. Like she to me is so much more inspiring than a real life person. And maybe it's easier because she's a cartoon. So you're just like, you can project all kinds of things onto her. But I remember seeing her, and as I got older, kind of thinking that maybe I would like grow into being more like that, but that didn't happen. And then a couple of years ago, I realized that you can be Jessica Rabbit in your own life if you tell yourself that you're Jessica Rabbit. And that's literally the only difference. There is no difference between the people that you really admire and you, except that they're not telling themselves that they can't be this thing or that thing. They've just decided that that story doesn't fucking serve them, and they're acting despite the fact that they may not feel worthy of it yet or whatever. And this is something I've kind of learned from taking like striptease classes or lap dance classes or from watching Drag Race even. It inspired me to be like, hey, the only thing that's actually stopping me from being a bad bitch, being sexy, like wearing a wild outfit is me. It's my beliefs that I tell myself, like, you can't do that, like, you're not deserving of that, you're not sexy, you're not this, you're not that stopped me from behaving in that way. So we can be whoever we want to be if we'll have the courage to tell ourselves a different story about who we are, what we're deserving of, and what's okay for us. Now, this may sound like some trivial bullshit, right? Like embodying your inner bad bitch or, channeling your inner Jessica Rabbit may seem like it's not important, but it's actually really important that we follow those impulses and we live our fantasies and we pursue our dreams. Because I know you've met those people who gave up on their dreams. And the problem is that when you try to resist your dream, you resist your fantasy, it like warps inside you. It's kind of like there's like a tree that wants to grow out of your body, but you just keep trimming it down. It doesn't go away. It just like gnarls up inside you and it warps and it goes in knots. And those people are so miserable. They are so disempowered. They shoot down other people's dreams because they haven't had the courage to follow their own. This is the worst thing you can do to yourself. So please don't resist your fantasy any longer. You deserve to live your fantasy. You're absolutely worthy. And there is literally nothing stopping you from doing it today. So you might be like, okay, that's great, but like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, I'm way too fucking scared. This whole idea makes me feel terrified. Like, what if people judge me? What if I feel stupid? What if I don't know what to do? The answer is that you're gonna do this tapping technique with me, and I'm gonna walk you through a whole new thought process so that you can feel not afraid to do it anymore, so that you can take those baby steps that will lead you into the place where you really wanna be. Now, tapping is an energy technique where you literally tap like this. You press on meridian points in your body so that you can free up the energy flow. It's really that simple. And while you tap on these points, which I'm going to show you in a second, you just repeat what I say. And it's a really amazing technique, and it's completely changed my life and the lives of thousands of other people. So I'm really excited for you to give it a try if you never have before. So here are the tapping points, and if you forget, you can just watch me on screen. I'm gonna be guiding you through it, but the points are as follows. There's the top of the head, the start of the eyebrow, temples, under the eye, under the nose, under the mouth, under the collarbone, under the armpit, and your two wrists together. It's really that simple. So we're just gonna use that pattern and just repeat after me. It's really, really easy, and I'm very excited for you to try this. Even though I don't think that I can really be a bad bitch, I know that that is just a story I'm telling myself. I know that I have a bad bitch deep inside, and she really wants to come out and play. But for a long time, I've been telling myself that I'm not allowed to be like that. That I'm not like that. And I've been holding myself back from expressing my inner bad bitch. But now I'm ready to do something different. Now I'm ready to be confident. Now I'm ready to be brave. And now I'm willing to not give a fuck about other people's opinions. Even though I don't know how to be a bad bitch, I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. I forgive myself for the times that I've played small, or the times that I've told myself a story that this is not possible for me. And I am willing to do it differently right now. I forgive myself for all of the times that I pretended I wasn't a badass. And I know that all I need to do is take one small action today. And that doesn't have to be scary. One thing a day is really easy. And I know that those things will build exponentially. I know that being a bad bitch is just a matter of repetition. Just doing one thing every day that makes me feel strong, that makes me feel powerful, and that lets me validate myself without needing anyone else to do it for me. I admire a lot of people, and they are not necessarily smarter than me or more beautiful than me. They are just telling themselves better stories. So today I am going to commit to telling myself really good stories. Stories about how confident I am. Stories about how I can do anything. And stories that make me feel like I'm really in touch with that inner bad bitch. And I'm going to follow these stories with action. Because I know I can be a bad bitch. I can see it in my head. My vision of that is so clear. And I'm going to start acting on it today. So even though in the past I have played small, I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself for all of those times. I am going to make myself proud, and it's going to feel really good. Okay, take a deep breath in, hold it at the top, and let it go. So your homework, if you choose to accept it, is to leave us a comment below telling us what the bad bitch version of you is doing in her life. What's something that you're gonna change when you're this bad bitch? What is it that you're going to do differently? We would really love to hear it. And go through and like as many other people's comments as you can and reply to them. Let us all feel connected and let everyone know that they're not alone in doing this. Now, if you're new to High Vibe Honey and you're really curious about this tapping thing that you just did, then I would recommend checking out my What is Tapping video. It's linked below if you want to check it out. And in it, I really explain more about the process, how it works, my own experiences with it, and I lead you through a confidence boosting session at the end, which is quick and easy and is a really good way to start your day. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Let me know if there's anything about moving into your inner bad bitch that you're confused about or not sure about. But this tapping session that we just did, you can come back to whenever you want. And especially if you have something coming up in your life that you're a little bit anxious about, maybe it's a job interview or a first date, or you want to like do something sexy for your partner and you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. Come back and do this session. It will totally set you up to be empowered and to act differently and to feel really confident. So I love you. I hope you like this new format. Let me know what you think, and I will see you back here next week.